Hello everyone, and welcome to Perilous Pursuits. I'm GoGo DM, and I'm proud to present my second D&D live play campaign, the Mobius Chronicles. This homebrew campaign is a continuation of the characters and stories from my first campaign, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and follows the characters as they uncover a dangerous threat against the entire world and beyond. So sit back and close your eyes as you join our adventuring party in the lands of Faerun and listen to their perilous pursuits. All right, Theodore, um, you have been traveling many nights down the road from Neverwinter down towards heading south, and you've been going through rain and cold weather, and it's starting to get a little warmer as you the further you head south. And just before we get too far in, why don't you describe a little bit about Theodore, what he looks like, who he is, where he comes from?
Theodore is a Shatterkai swashbuckler rogue. His ashen white skin is quite pleasant to look at. Quite a cut jaw with a very sharp nose. Hair jet black down to his shoulders, cut to one side, feathers intertwined into his hair as it flows back. Dark, regal black leather adorn him as he has a cloak around that. If you look at his leathers close enough, you'll see engravings and markings, but they're a little rough around the edges these days. If you looked closer yet, you might spy a few tattoos on one of his arms. But he's quite quiet. His eyes are quick and bright. And for the love of everything, don't meet him in the night.
So you've been traveling a few days, heading south from Neverwinter, and you've been mostly trying to avoid any kind of travelers heading up the road, especially at night. You kind of camp off the road a bit, and this night you find a great little spot surrounded by some boulders. It's kind of like a little nook. You're able to have a little campfire. You catch a rabbit, and you're able to have a great sleep as you look up, lying on the ground, looking up into the stars, and your eyes slowly close. And darkness kind of takes you. And the stars, as you're closing your eyes, they just kind of blink out of existence as a sheet of blackness just envelops you. And then it looks like you see a star, one star, straight ahead of you. And it kind of materializes out of the darkness. And it seems to grow. It seems to be either growing or approaching you, you're not sure. And this star, as it gets a little bit bigger, starts to form into a face. A white face. Strange looking. And this face gets bigger and bigger, and you recognize it now. You've heard of the descriptions. This is the Raven Queen, the one that you serve. And the face gets larger. It's like a white porcelain mask with slits for eyes, a closed mouth. And this face gets larger and larger and larger until it fills up your entire view. And it tilts down towards you.
Theodore, seeing the queen coming, hops up and quickly drops to one knee and bows his head.
And this radiance off this mask, you feel the power of a god radiating out of this mask, floating in the air, surrounded by blackness. And as you sit down, bend on one knee, a calm, smooth, and beautiful female voice echoes in the darkness, even though your queen's mask doesn't move at all. Teoda, my disciple, you have done well in your hunt for secrets. I have been watching you and your progress, and I'm quite pleased. You have a potential ally in Waterdeep in your quest for revenge. He is a tiefling who has been wronged as you have been wronged. He and his friends may be of great use to you. Make haste, as I feel a strange breeze coming along the astral winds. It vexes even myself. And the face slowly retreats and fades away into the blackness. And you wake up staring into a black sky littered with stars sparkling. The small little campfire beside you has gone out. It's just embers. And you realize you woke up. You're still a little bit sleepy, and it's still the middle of the night.
He'll pull a necklace out and just kiss the small stone that's sitting on it and put it back in. And just mutter under his breath, I am blessed. My queen speaks with me. I must hurry. A tiefling has been wronged like I have. Cannot forget.
And you lay back down again, looking up into the stars, and you swear you see a little twinkle on one star that seems to fade in and fade out a little brighter than the others. And sleep takes you again. No dreams this time. And you wake up in the morning, and you finish off the rabbit that you caught the other night for breakfast. And you head south towards Waterdeep. And you do pass a couple of strangers on the road. It looks like one person was on a horse. There was another on a wagon. Looks like they're carrying goods north for trade, possibly. You're not sure. Is there anything you wanted to do?
They're walking the opposite way as I am.
They're heading north.
So yeah, and I'm heading south, so that they're going away from Waterdeep.
That's right.
I will hail one of the people that walk around and say, "Excuse me.
Yes.
Did you come from Waterdeep?"
I came through Waterdeep, up from Candlekeep, but yes, I was in Waterdeep for a couple of days, selling my wares.
I'm just trying to get there. I'm looking to see how many. And I'll stretch a bit. How many more days of walking I have?
Well, I've been 3 days by horseback, so depends on how fast you move, young friend.
Much obliged. Thank you for your time.
No worries. Safe travels. And
to you as well.
Giddy ups north. And you continue walking through the day. You don't really meet up with anyone. It's you just hear the birds in the woods. You hear the ocean sounds. The road kind of comes towards the ocean to the west and to the east is the forest. You kind of stop, you look out over the ocean and just see the beautiful Sword Coast as it washes up against the cliffs. And it gets towards nighttime again, and you look for another campsite, and you find a creek that kind of babbles down and crosses under a small bridge that heads and then waterfalls over the cliff. And you follow the creek east into the woods a bit just to get off the road, and you set up a little camp. You find some nice bushes just off the creek. You're able to catch a couple fish and settle down for dinner and for the night. And you lie down again, looking up at the beautiful clear night sky, stars above, babbling brook just beside you, and the crickets. And you hear off in the distance to the northeast some strange sounds, like a grunt, and then some voices, odd voices.
To my north?
Northeast. And you do move maybe about 200 feet or so through the bush. You kind of come where you see your map now, to the edge of a bush, and there's a couple of little rises. It looks like there's a little rock elevation that goes up and some bushes above it. There's bushes kind of all around. You see the babbling brook north of you. Kind of to the northeast is kind of like a little 4-foot rise of the elevation.
To my northeast is like, yeah, it's like, I'm assuming this is the map I'm looking at now?
That's the map you're looking at now. And you hear these voices get louder as these grunts, and it looks like one person is scolding someone else, saying, "You stupid brute! Why did you have to kill the horse? We could have used it to pull the wagon. You're going to be pulling the wagon tomorrow."
And what do these two individuals look like?
You can't see. You can see what you see on your map.
Okay. All right. Can I stealth ahead then?
Roll a stealth check, please.
That's not great, but it's not bad. Stealth is something I'm decent at. That is... Oh, that's not bad at all. That's a 17.
17, okay. Let me just load something up here. So you're able to move up to that rock wall if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd like to maybe scramble into...
Or where you want to go.
I want to kind of be able to maybe scoot to the bush and then scoot to the corner and then probably clamber up a bit.
Okay.
To try and get some...
You can peek around that corner if you'd like. You do see a wagon. Looks like somebody is actually tied up in that wagon. You see two orcs around a campfire. And there's some scattered wares and stuff. Looks like from that came from the wagon. You do see with your vision a dead horse and a dead human. Just north of the cart, you see a large ogre arguing with that orc to the south.
Mm-hmm. It's probably not something I want to deal with on my own. But we might as well take a peek to see if they've got anything on them. Can I loop to the east a bit?
Yeah, just one sec. I need to roll something here. Yeah, you can move east. You see a third orc, and you didn't expect him, and you snap on a twig, and that third orc, who is right here, right, right there.
Yep.
He stops what he's doing. He was mucking around with some pots and pans. He stops. He goes, "What was that?" And everyone stops talking.
Theodar will like freeze just out of sight, kind of like hugging up against this wall quietly, realizing he stepped on a twig. Shit.
This guy rolled a natural 20, just so you know.
Of course he did.
He starts walking towards you. He's heard something over there, but he hasn't seen anything.
I'm assuming that's a bush to my south and then north, or south and then east.
Yeah, that's a bush, like a low-lying bush.
I'll just try to scoot into it a bit.
Okay, I'd like you to roll.
And then bonus action hide.
I'd like to roll another stealth.
Oh, that's like miles better. That is a 23.
Okay, you're in the bush. You think you're hidden, and this orc is standing on the edge of this shelf, looking around. Since he had such a good roll, I'm going to give him advantage on perception.
Lovely.
He thinks there's something there. He is eyeing the area back and forth. And his buddy walks up. What do you see? And this guy says, he doesn't say anything. He just keeps looking. His two jagged teeth coming out from his lips. Searching. Looking at the bush you're in. Looking at the bush to the west of you. I thought I heard something. It's probably just another rabbit. Maybe you should go hunt it. And this guy goes back. This guy comes down.
That's the guy that told to go down and check and look for rabbits?
This is the guy who first noticed.
Okay.
He is standing. He's just kind of sniffing the air. Looks around.
Once he moves to the other side of the bushes, I'm going to move to the east quietly.
Okay.
And then as soon as he rotates and breaks, I need to pull the map over. There we go. I can see what's there.
Comes over
Once
here.
I break, yeah, I just want to like kind of like slowly make my way and see if he's going to like actually.
He goes to the bush you were just in, and he just kind of moves a couple of the branches away, looking in there.
Yeah.
Then he just kind of turns and goes snorts and stomps back to the campsite. This, you just hear some crunching sounds too. And that's Ogre that you saw earlier. He was actually a little bit further up. He was by the horse. He was eating the horse.
Yeah, he's not in my line of sight anymore.
No, he actually wasn't. He was a bit further north.
Yeah.
In the wrong spot.
So now, stealthing, I will continue to slowly move very quietly from one bush to the next
Mm-hmm.
to try and break total line of sight.
Okay. You
And
have a
then
good
I'd
stealth roll, so you're keeping an eye of where everyone is, and you're listening and keeping yourself out of line of sight. So with that stealth roll, like you could be there and you're not going to be seen. You're peeking around
Okay.
the corner. You see
Yeah.
this huge ogre just chomping on this horse. He's pulled the rear hind legs off and holding it like a chicken bone, just gnawing on it.
Don't want to mess with that. Can I make my way forward without being to the north without being seen yet?
So you do see, looks like a female in the tied up in this. It's not a caged wagon. It does have some posts on it, but this bard or this female is gagged. Her hands are bound, and she's tied to one of the posts. And actually, roll a perception check for me.
Perception. That is a 15.
Okay, that's good. You notice right here, there's a silver trident leaning up against the wagon. It's beautiful.
You'll see Theodar start to kind of rub one hand together like he's getting ready.
What was your stealth throw?
Just 23.
Okay.
I mean, I rolled garbage, but
Yeah, it's just you.
my modifier is bonkers. I have plus 11.
Okay.
I rolled a 12.
Okay, I just gotta check one thing. One sec. I just want to see someone's. Nope. Okay, go ahead. What do you want to do next?
Okay. So I want to hop into the bush on the upper edge
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of patiently wait till they start sleeping.
Okay. It's around 10 o'clock at night. It is black. It's pitch black out. They're sitting around the campfire, talking in. Do you speak? What languages do you speak?
That's a great question. Good thing there's a button for that. I speak Common, Elvish, and Thievescant.
Yeah. So, they were talking in Common, and they kind of go between Common and it's. You probably heard it before, Orcish. You don't understand it, but you've heard it before.
Yeah.
These are orcs.
Just like I can't speak German, but I know when people are speaking German.
Yeah. So these are orcs. There's 3 of them there, and then you just hear the munching sounds of this ogre over there. And the ogre just kind of dips his head into the brook and just starts gulping back some water. They look like they're starting to retire a little bit. Those sleeping things aren't there. They tried them and didn't like how the humans sleep, so they're not even sleeping on them. And they're starting to just get tired, and one of them says, "Look, you need to watch your first watch." And you see all of them but this guy. Right there. He stands up. Yep. And he's just starts doing a bit of a patrol.
So when he patrols, like I'm sucked into the bush, like not
Yeah,
visible, but I'm
you
just
still have
watching him.
your stealth.
Yeah. So once he passes me and goes towards, I'll just mark a point, kind of towards this end.
Yeah.
Once he gets, because I'm assuming he's going to follow the ridge. Once he gets about a couple more steps, I'm going to slowly kind of like walk out quickly, because I'm assuming he's kind of taking his time. And it's not like a quick march around like
He's walking
each loop.
slowly, and he seems to be stopping. Like he stopped for a while, then looked here, where there's a bit of a break in the bushes.
Yeah.
He stopped here, where you are, and he kind of looked out. He's stopping here for a little bit to kind of look,
Yeah.
because it's kind of the entry points into these areas.
Yeah. So
So
once he
he just got
passes
here.
by me, yeah, okay. So I'll wait for him to do like another loop, and once he gets to this spot and he leaves that spot, then I'm gonna leave my point of cover.
Okay, so he does a loop. He gets to there, and he starts walking away.
So once he does that, I'm gonna quickly slip out to the wagon,
Okay, I'm
not
gonna need you to do
talking.
another stealth check for that.
Okay, come on, better than what I've been getting. Oh, that's 28.
Yeah, you as a whisper, you don't make a noise. And you hear this snoring to the north where this huge ogre is just lying down.
And while he's going there, I'm gonna quickly go
The
around.
female in the wagon seems to be sleeping as well. She
And
looks
I'll
beat up. Uh, clothes are a bit torn, and she's got bruises on her, cuts on her. She looks like she was not treated very nicely. And then you see dead, looks like a commoner or a merchant, just north of where you are.
Mm-hmm. Theodore will grab the trident and quickly stow it.
Okay.
And then,
This guy's at
as
this
he,
corner now. He's
yeah,
just kind of looking around, listening.
as he's passing back, he'll glance over to the tied up. I'm assuming I can see what race she is potentially. Or
She's blue skinned.
human, yeah, which
She's
wouldn't translate through the darkness very well.
no, it wouldn't. But she does kind of glisten a bit. It looks like almost sweaty, like she's perspiring.
Mm-hmm. And Theodore will kind of just shake his head and go, "Shit, crap."
This
Looks
orc
like
starts
I'm
walking towards your direction.
Yeah, I will quickly keep hustling and making sure I'm always covered.
Okay.
And
You'd have to find a place to hide as he's coming
yeah,
around.
because I'm gonna go back into the bush again.
Okay. With that stealth roll, yeah, he does not see you. And
Yeah,
he
I
does
just
this whole thing. He stands there for a while. He comes back to here, looks around, kind of spits on the ground, starts walking.
once he's there, yeah, I'll pop back out again and just curse. And he'll pull out a dagger and just kind of like poke at the girl that's perspiring and just go, hey.
She rolled in at 20 for
Quiet.
perception. She jerks her head. She's gagged. She jerks her head and she looks towards you.
And like my fingers over my mouth, like, quiet.
And
And
she looks
like
back. She looks back at the campfire or where these guys are sleeping, and she looks at you, just shakes her head, nods her head up and down.
and I'll like, don't make me regret this. And I'll cut the ties to her binds to the post. And I'll like reach a hand out to like hopefully make a quiet transition from the cart to the ground.
Okay, so she's got to roll a stealth.
I'm hoping to help her.
Okay, so she'll get advantage of you like holding things still and all that.
Yeah, just trying to steady things because he knows that you have to be
Okay,
quiet
so
because he's
she's
going
got
to be back
advantage
here
on
and
this. She rolls a 21. So I'm just gonna roll another perception check for this guard. Doesn't notice. She has
I'll
stepped down.
and I'll head back and I'll actually make more of a deliberate to hide a bit better farther away.
Okay, so maybe down here.
Sure, yeah, let me just move the map a bit. Yeah, so they can
She
so that we
whispers
are
at you.
almost fully out of possible earshot.
Yeah,
And I'll
you guys are
ungank
both pretty
her and
stealthy. You're whispering. You're kind of crouched low behind bushes, far away from this guy. And she looks at you, kind of looks you over, and she goes, "That's my trident."
no, well, rightfully so, I guess. I did find it, but if it's yours, I'm
It is.
sure you'll compensate me in other ways.
She kind of gives you a look. I won't let you.
Theodore will just kind of smile and lower his, just kind of like he's joking a little bit. What did they get you for?
Are you handing over the trident
Yeah,
or
I'll
not?
hand the
Oh, okay.
trident over.
She kind of
I'm not
snatches
gonna.
it from you and kind of eyes you warily. And who are
It's
you?
not really my style, anyways.
Who are you?
Um, a traveler. Happened to hear a few noises. Poked my head in to see if I could find a few things. And look where I am.
And she says, "Well, thank you for releasing me."
Looks like they've done you no favors in there.
And,
Do they have anything else?
what do you mean? Do they have anything else?
Well, there was a merchant on the ground. I can see that you're carrying a trident. Is there anything else?
There was just the man who owned the wagon. I was traveling with them. I'm heading north, and they offered me a ride. It was him and his wife and two kids, and I joined along. These guys ambushed us a few days back, and have been kind of taking the side roads, taking me north. It's the way I want to go, but not the way I want to do it. And just while these guys were out hunting tonight, the ogre killed the man, started eating him, bit his head right off. And I saw he bumped the horse, and the horse kicked him while he's eating him, and with one swat he broke the horse's neck.
Yeah, those. Can't say I don't like meeting them here. Do you need anything more? Do you feel like you need retribution, revenge?
Honestly, they're pretty they're pretty strong. Sometimes you can't. You got to know when to walk away, even though that maybe you feel like you want to stab someone in the face. And as she says that, you hear this, "Help! Help! Help the wolves!"
Can
Up
we
near the
make...
campsite.
Oh, up by the campsite?
Yeah, you hear a man's voice. "The wolves!"
Looks like tonight's not the only night we might save more than one.
Should we see who it is?
I'll poke out to kind of like hopefully...
With that stealth, you guys could probably get in range to get a look without revealing
I'll probably
yourselves.
go back to the same spot that I know that is safe.
Okay, and the female will stay near the wall. And you see coming around this forest bush, it looks like a merchant. Finely dressed man. He comes around the corner just screaming, "Wolf, help, help, help," and he stops as soon as he sees these orcs. And this guy by now, he's over here from his doing his patrol. These two orcs wake up, and the ogre over here starts grumbling awake. And he kind of ran right into this, and then he kind of stops with his hands out, going, "Oh," and he kind of looks behind him, and then he looks in front. He's like, "I have coin if you're willing to help me. I have wolves chasing me." And kind of the head looks like the head or one of these orcs. This guy's panting, and the orc kind of grins at him as he gets up, and he's looking at these fat pouches around his waist. "Sure, Poppet. Come sit beside old Nanjin. I'll keep you safe by the fire." And this guy starts walking over. He's a little unsure. He takes a step forward. I don't want any trouble. I was chased by wolves, you see, and I didn't mean to bother you." "No, no, Poppet, come. I'll save a spot here, right here. Come sit beside me." And this guy kind of comes over
So
to him.
both orcs, all three orcs are awake now, and the
Oh,
ogre.
yes. And he puts a hand on the guy's shoulder, walks him over to the fire, and sits him on the ground. Stands behind him. The ogre starts yawning over here. He's like, "Ugh, ugh," as he starts kind of waking from his slumber. And this man, he's I was just camping just off the road there, and these wolves chased me. And you notice he does have a rapier on him, and he doesn't, the way he's kind of holding himself, carrying himself, he doesn't know. Maybe it's a little more show than he knows how to use. And this orc that's right here, who called himself Najin, he says, "What you got in those pouches there, Poppet? I think I'll take them all." And the man just, "But that's my life savings. It's everything I own." It's
Is
not.
the
Sorry?
blue-skinned woman beside me?
No, she's hiding right here by the edge of the I don't know if you see her there. Yeah. So she's hiding at the edge of the, you pop your head out the bush and you see she's hiding right underneath the terrain elevation there where it
Okay.
goes down.
Yeah, I see it now. It's just she's not visible from my point of view when I'm right here.
No.
So,
No.
So she's within earshot.
Yeah.
And I'll look down and say, they're gonna kill him. Either we help, and we hope the wolves can pull it off. Maybe we make out in the chaos.
And the man, all of a sudden his voice changes a little bit, and he's looking over at the wagon. And then he looks over at the dead man over there. And he goes, "Oh my. Was there anyone in that caravan?" And the orc looks back at the wagon and goes, "Where's the girl?" And he runs over to the wagon. These guys are actively like running around. And he's like, "Jack, get up! The woman's gone!" And this ogre starts pounding. Boom, 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 boom. As he's yawning. They're doing a thorough search in the surrounding area. And this ogre, "Oh, who's the fresh meat?" And he walks over to this guy. And maybe we can see what you taste like, eh? And he reaches for the man. And there's a flash of silver in the firelight, and the ogre howls as it holds a cut in his hand, and the man's standing there with a rapier. And he says, "What have you done with the woman?" And I'd like you to roll initiative.
Yeah, bugger. I figured it was coming here.
What'd you roll?
21.
21. All right. And he turns around immediately as the ogre is kind of yowling in pain, and he takes a swipe at the orc behind him, which backs off, and he just misses. The orc backs off. The female with you there says, "This sounds like the right time," and she leaps over the rock with her trident and attacks this orc here. And so that's a hit. All right. Yeah, she stabs this orc in the shoulder, and he howls in pain as he staggers back, reaching for his weapon. You're next in the initiative.
I will quickly run through the bush to the north of the same orc. And once I get there, I will swipe at the orc in front of me with a dirty 20.
Before you do that, I run my flanking. If you're flanking, you get an advantage.
Okay.
So if you want to go into flanking with him.
Sure, I would do that. I'll roll and see if I get any better. Nope. I don't. So I will roll my damage on him. Decent. 10, 15, and 5 for 19 points of piercing damage, even though
19.
a short sword should. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you just kind of push, you stab right through his heart, and he falls over dead.
Yeah, and with so I will have moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not where I want to be. I just want to be on the outcrop, and I will bonus action hide in the bushes with it, because I can bonus action cutting action hide.
Okay.
For a dirty 20.
All right. This orc attacked by the man. He pulls out this great axe and he swings for a dirty 20 and slices open on the across the chest of this guy. Let's see here. Ooh, that's a nasty. Yeah, he takes a nasty hit. That's his turn. This orc over here turns around and sees the woman and the dead orc and this guy over here, and he runs towards the woman. He's going to take a swipe at her. And that is a miss as she ducks out of the way, and this great axe just misses her head. And the ogre, he didn't like that hit from that little guy, so he's gonna come over here and take us. He pulls out a great club that he had behind his back there. He picks it up. He's gonna take a swing at the guy. Oh, a natty 20.
Oh boy, this guy's gonna have a rough day.
Oh boy. That's a lot of dice.
Yeah, that's a lot of dice.
It's holy shit. I double the bonus too, right? To hit damage. Like if it's a 2d8 plus 4, I do
no,
48
it
plus
would just
4?
be. Yeah, it's just double the dice, not the.
Yeah, so he takes 15.
The modifier
damage, and he stumbles into the fire a little bit and kicks up some sparks go flying up into the air. He's looking hurt. Next up, the female. She's sees a new challenger to the north of her. She's going to take a swing with her trident, and that hits him. Roll damage. So he takes a bunch of damage. He's not looking that great. Your turn.
From my hidden position, I will dart out behind the guy with the great axe.
Okay.
And take a swing at him. Oh, that was so close to a nat 20. That's a 17 plus 8 for 25 to hit.
That hits.
And I will roll 4d6 for damage. That's awful damage. For 15 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, and, you slice this guy's arm off, and this spurts out blood, and he just passes out, and he bleeds out. He's down.
And then with a swift action, I will move forward, and with the rest of my movement, can I run by the fire and pick up a log and throw it at the troll for my two-handed fighting with an opportune weapon?
Well, do you have a bonus action or anything like that, or a second action?
I would use my bonus action to make a second attack with a improvised weapon.
So I would say you could pick up the log, and you're holding it in your hand, with burning log in your hand.
Yep, I'll pick it up and just kind of like sword in the one and the log in the other.
Okay. That's your turn?
Yep, that's my turn.
Okay. Alright, this orc that is fighting the woman, she's gonna take a hit. Oh, that's a hit. Oh, that's nasty. Okay. That's his turn. This ogre, he sees his fellow guy fall down from you. He's gonna try to decide who to take, who he should attack as he sees his fellows go down. Oh yeah, he's going to attack you. So he basically runs right through the fire. He's actually standing in it.
Goofball.
One foot standing on the fire. He's gonna take some fire damage for that. Oh!
Come on, big money. Big money.
He howls as he does that, but he's gonna take a swing at you with his great club.
Okay.
That is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
For 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
I will uncanny dodge to reduce that by half.
Okay. And he doesn't like standing in the fire, so he's going to move out of the fire.
I guess that one guy gets an opportunity attack on him.
Yeah, he would. And totally misses. Some of the sparks got in his eyes from the fire. Swung wild. So the female is up. She is in battle.
Did that guy not get a turn?
I think he was after you, wasn't he?
Okay. I don't think he's gone yet. That's why.
Okay. Okay. I'll just do that. So the opportunity attack he missed. So I'll roll him now. That's a hit. So he takes a swipe at the ogre. All right. He with this amazing move, you see him dance around the fire. And as the ogre lifts his hand to swing at you, he stabs him underneath in the armpit, right in the ribs. Pulls back. It's huge. It starts bleeding from there. Beautiful move. So now, yeah, the ogre just
went. And
yeah,
I think
so now it's Calypso's
the woman's
turn
now. Yeah.
Oh, you probably guessed that.
Yeah, I kind of guessed that. I don't know that, but
yeah. The woman misses on her turn, and she's just fighting away with that guy. It's your turn. This ogre is standing right in front of you.
That's unfortunate, because now I don't get sneak attack on him. I will not leave his threat range, and I will swing at the ogre engaged with the woman.
The orc?
The orc, yep, sorry.
Okay.
For a 21.
That hits.
For, that's balls damage too. That's 5, 9, 11 points of piercing damage.
So he had taken damage before, and that puts him down.
Yeah.
So you guys are left with this ogre.
For my bonus action, can I make a swing with the flaming log in my hand at the ogre?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Are you just trying to hit him with it?
I'm just trying to hit him with it.
Okay.
So the question is what the heck do I add? Just probably my dex to it, but not proficiency.
Yeah, no proficiency on that.
So that
You
would
can
be
use your dex.
12 to hit.
That hits. He's a big boy.
What the heck do you want me to roll?
Roll a D4.
Yeah.
2 D4s. So the first D4 is bludgeoning, and the second D4 is fire.
Okay. Sounds good. 4 points of fire damage, 2 points of bludgeoning damage. And I will have used 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. So I use 5 to go there. 10, 15, 20, 25. And I will dance around the ogre and move all the way to the back of the camp, not provoking an opportunity attack as I leave his range.
Okay. That's your turn.
Yep, that's my turn.
The ogre just is furious, and he's looking at you. Hitting him with the club, hitting him with fire, sparks flying everywhere, and he sees you run past. Takes a swing at you, but obviously doesn't hit. He's going to go chase you. And
is he dumb enough to walk through the fire again?
Well, he didn't have to there.
Okay, just checking.
So he's going to just take a swing at you with his club.
Yeah.
That is a 12 to hit.
That misses.
It swings over your head. He just howls into the air, just frustrated. So the female will jump in, get on the other side of him and flanking and attack. That's a hit. Ooh, that's pretty good. 17 points of damage.
Oof. The Loompas.
With this trident. And that's her turn. You're up next.
Okay, Theodar on the opposite side of the woman will swing away. That's a 25 to hit.
That hits.
I'll roll my damage. I gotta stop rolling these frickin' ones. That's 15 points of damage. And then I will swing with
this
my
ogre is
offhand.
kind of staggering. It's not looking too good.
Yeah, I'll swing with the makeshift weapon as well.
Oh, I thought you threw it. Or did you hit him?
No, I just kind of like tried to smack him. And
Oh,
just
okay.
Kind of like,
all right.
So I have like 2 weapons, one in each hand.
Yeah.
And then that is, if I add my dex, a 22 to hit.
That hits.
And I'll roll
2d4.
2d4 for 2 points of fire damage and 2 points of bludgeoning.
It just howls. It gets hit and burned. And this man, he comes up, and he's in flanking as well because this ogre's large. He's going to roll. Oh. Well, actually. Oh yeah, he's got a crappy AC. That still hits. So he kind of does the legless thing, and as the ogre's kind of winging his arms, he kind of grabs hold of one of the arms, gets flung up onto its back, grabs his rapier, and just jabs it down into the base of its neck. And the thing just kind of staggers back and croaks and just goes thump. right on top of the fire and just starts smoldering away. It's dead. And that's it for combat. You guys handled that pretty well.
Yeah, I was worried about the one guy more than the woman.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you saw him come in, he looked like a bumbling, foolish merchant. But when he started fighting, you've seen skilled warriors from where you're from, and he is one of the best you've seen.
So Teodar will be just not panting, but just kind of like recovering from the quickness of the battle, checking to see, make sure everyone's okay. Checking his armor to see if anything got broken when he got hit. It said,
Yeah. Calypso's kind of holding her arm where she got it clubbed.
Said, I'll look over and I'm like, you all right?
Another bruise. I'll be okay. And the man walks
Teodor
over to her and
will
checks
still
her
have his sword out and say, well, you sure came at an opportune time. These wolves that were following you, just in your imagination as well?
And he kind of looks at you with a smirk. And he kind of bows and he goes, very astute, my young friend. I am Zasto. And who might you be?
Just someone in the night passing through. Happened upon this scene before you.
And Zasto looks over at Calypso and says, introduces himself, and Calypso introduces herself. I'm Calypso, coming from Waterdeep, heading north. And Zasto says, after you say that, he says, well, very fortunate for this young lady that we both happen to be coming around. And he looks at her and says, Calypso, my master has tasked me to ensure you make it to Neverwinter, my lady. And Calypso looks totally confused.
Does Teodar catch that? The confusion?
Oh yeah, you're standing right there. You hear the conversation.
And I haven't put my sword away quite yet, but I've tossed the log onto the ogre.
And Zasto has his rapier in his hand still. And the gross smell of this ogre is just burning away. This flesh is just kind of smoking up into the night air as it starts just burning away the blubbery flesh. And Zasto says, I'm not here to harm you. I'm here to protect you. And my master needs to meet with you. And
Teodar will look at Calypso and I hate to ask, but are you sure?
And she
I'm going back to Waterdeep, but
she looks at you and says, I don't know. I don't know this man. And she says, I am heading to Neverwinter. And I on business of my own. But I thank you for both of you for getting me out of this jam. Who is your master, Zasto? And Zasto kind of sheaths his sword. Well, has a few names, but you may know him as the Collector.
Do I know something about the name the Collector?
You can roll a history check with advantage because of your background in what kind of the crime areas?
History, that's a 22.
Yeah, you definitely have heard of the Collector. He is a man in Neverwinter, and they call him the Collector because he collects artifacts and objects from all across Faerun, and he has um, he's a bit of a crime lord from what you know of. Not so much a violent crime lord, but he very astute businessman. Very astute. You've never met him, you've just heard about him. And in your circles, he is well known. And Calypso goes, I've never heard of this collector. Why would he want to see me? And Zasto goes, his reasons are his own. I'm just here to make sure that you make it to Neverwinter safely. Would you agree to meet with him if I accompany you on your trip?
Theodore will pipe up. Just make sure the meeting goes peacefully. We hate to run into another situation like this that we've got our hands on right now.
And young Theodore, where are you heading? He asks you.
To Waterdeep.
Do you know? Do you know Calypso?
Doesn't matter. I know who your master is. And that's enough.
And he smirks a bit and he goes, interesting. Have you been to Neverwinter? And you have.
Just passing through.
Okay. Theodore. I'll have to remember that. And he looks over at Calypso.
I'll bow my head and kind of like gesture like a grand bow, like my reputation is preceding me almost, and say, just keep your rapier in its holster. And as Calypso's meeting goes peacefully,
and
may you live a long and prosperous life.
And he looks at you and he says, my rapier is here to serve and protect Calypso. I can guarantee you that. And Calypso, this is your decision. I'm not forcing you. I'm asking you. Calypso kind of looks at you and looks at him.
Theodore will shrug and say, I've heard only a little bit about him. He's a good businessman, rough on the edges. Don't know what to make of it, but if he has his eye on you, you might as well walk the road slowly and peacefully rather than at night, wondering if there's a wolf at your back, when at least you can see the wolf in front of your eyes.
Those are wise words, Calypso says. She looks at Zasto and says, you may accompany to Neverwinter. And along the way, I will think about your offer. We can talk a little more. And I'll make my decision once we get there. And she turns to you, Theodore, and says, I wish you safe travels, Theodore. You're heading to Waterdeep, you said.
Yes, I have business with a soon-to-be associate.
Well, I may have gotten in a little trouble there. If you ever make it to the Trollskull Manor, maybe don't mention my name.
That's just fine.
She shakes
A
her
little
head.
bit of trouble is kind of where I always am.
She smiles and she shakes your hand. You're a good man, Theodore. Maybe we'll meet up again.
Hopefully not like this.
Hopefully. And Zasto and Calypso, they gather their things. And they start heading back to the road. And they kind of leave you there in the campsite with this smoldering ogre and these dead bodies. They look back, Calypso waves back and gives you a smile and a nod. And she heads out of view around a bush with Zasto.
Theodore, once they've left the site, will quickly check the bodies for anything on them, because he is thorough if nothing else, and just to make sure that no secrets are left unturned, so to speak.
Roll an investigation check.
You want me to roll 3 or 1?
Just roll 1. It's fine.
Okay. Natural 20. Good time to go. Total of 30.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I have a plus 10 to investigation.
You find 35 gold pieces on all the orcs. And underneath the wagon, you're very thorough. You look underneath and something about a piece of wood looks a little out of place. And you look at it, you climb under and you examining it, jam your dagger.
I'll take the hilt of my sword and tap it on it and see if it resounds like it's all.
You're able to kind of jimmy it loose and it falls off. And a large diamond falls into your lap. 200 gold piece diamond.
The Raven Queen always smiles upon that help.
And
revenge is always sweet, and
you just hear a gentle breeze ruffle through your hair and through the bushes. And it's not the cold breeze you've felt before, it's a warm breeze of appreciation.
And I'll kind of like I'll try and drag the orc bodies. I'm not crazy strong, but I could probably drag them close to the fire just to burn them a little bit more.
Yeah, you could eventually move them all there.
And then I'll probably say, well, I should probably get going before the animals start to arrive. And I don't know if I can do this. We'll see if it works for Flare, but I can see some rocks down to the west.
Yep.
Let's see if my computer doesn't
just south of you
crash when I. Yep, right here. And they're kind of like just about jumping distance, and I'll quickly skip across the brook and then keep heading north to kind of like make sure there's like a lot of distance between us.
Without leaving tracks?
Yeah.
Okay, that roll a survival check.
That's 50.
Yeah, you're able to stick to the rocks mostly, and you feel like you're able to hide your passage. And you make your way back to the spot. If you want to camp there or not, that's up to you.
I'll probably camp in a different spot that's farther away.
So maybe you kind of make your way just off the road and you head south a little bit further, a few kilometers. And then you go off a little bit more and find a private spot to settle down for the night. Is there anything you want to do before you go to sleep?
Theodore will unpack a little bit of rations, have a little bit to eat, stretch as he always does before he sleeps, kneel down and pray to the Raven Queen, thanking him for guiding his sword and exacting some revenge upon the orcs, and then pray a blessing upon Calypso and that her path will be safe as she goes to Neverwinter.
And the crickets around you, they continue their song of the night. The stars twinkle in the sky as you lay down. Your eyes get heavy. And you close your eyes as darkness overcomes you again. And you look forward to what the new day may bring. We'll end it there. Awesome.
Okay, that was a lot of fun.
Nicely done. Thank you for streaming this episode of the Mobius Chronicles. Our team at Perilous Pursuits love playing D&D, but your likes, thumbs ups, and subscriptions motivate us to do even more crazy characters, voices, and memorable moments. For streaming options for all of our shows, a link to our Facebook community, and tools and extras that might help your D&D games, go to our website at www.perilouspursuits.com. In the meantime, ask that black dragon to acid wash your jeans, cast duplicity, and double date those water genasi sisters. Then meet your friends at the Barge Right Inn, drink some ale, roll some dice, and play some D&D.